What's up everyone, Robert the Bruce here, bringing you today's video, Defending the Railroad. And let's make that a little bit bigger, which is what she said. There we go. And we're playing rush defense, Kaiser Railroad obviously. We did a few things in this game that really were phenomenal as a team that I want to talk about today. 3 points actually. First one, threat assessment, then utilizing choke points, and finally identifying enemy routes. Now these things are obviously good in any game mode, but rush specifically can really make or break your team. So first thing we're looking at is threat assessment. Now here on this map on Kaiser Railroad, the helicopters are crucial. Now if you got obviously terrible pilots in both of them, they don't really matter, but there's a lot of good pilots out there these days. Battlefield 3's been out a long time, and a really good chopper pilot, uncontested, can destroy your team. They can really make things difficult for you. So I made it a point to focus on always keeping him in trouble. Even if it just meant disabling him and keeping him out of the fight for 30 seconds and then disabling him again. That's okay. It keeps them back on their heels and helps him not to just completely wipe out your team every time he comes around the corner. So somebody needs to be on this. And I know there's guys out there that whine and cry about the iglas and stingers and whatever, and oh, they're noobish or whatever. That basically just means they don't know how to dodge them very well, and whatever. It's a weapon in the game. It's the best way to counter these, so you'd be kind of foolish not to use them. So on this map specifically, really focused on the enemy helicopter, but depending on where you're at in rush, identifying what are the biggest threats is huge, because if you leave their main attacking, be it a vehicle or whatever, just out there to destroy your team over and over again, it's going to be a very short game and you're going to be on the losing end of it. Now on other maps it may be tanks primarily, Amtraks, there's always something that the attackers have that if they use it well can really be detrimental to your team. So just take it upon yourself to be aware of this. Watch out for it. Choose your class accordingly, because as you know, you cannot always rely on your teammates to do this for you. So choose that role. Be a constant nemesis to their big threat, and it's really going to give your team an advantage there. Now, going along with this, point number 2 is utilizing choke points. So after their helicopter, I know that their vehicles, primarily their tank, is going to be very bad for our team if it gets into the MCOM area and really starts tearing things up. There you see me, I highlight that one area that's definitely a choke point. Look for these areas that you know they're going to have to drive through to get their big vehicles into your area, and mine them up, set C4 traps, or just get an RPG and constantly be aware of those points, because they eventually have to come through there, and if you've got a trap waiting for them, it's going to make it very difficult for them to ever get their big vehicles into your MCOM area. That's the last thing you need or want for your team. The final point here is identifying enemy routes. Now here you see we've got a couple guys hiding back behind this building, and basically what this means is look for the main hiding spots and traveling routes that the enemy likes to take. They've got a Jeep sitting up on a hill or a tank raining down damage. You know that's going to be something they're going to enjoy doing, especially if they're having some sort of success at it. So watch for that and shut it down, take them out, or lie in wait for them to get up there and then continually frustrate them by blowing them up before they can ever really do much damage. Most players like the same routes. They have success, whether it's in that game or a previous game where they did really well doing something over and over again, and they'll continue to do it even if you're totally dominating them every time they show up. So watch for this. You can pick up patterns actually pretty easily. If you just kind of take a step back and kind of be aware, where's the enemy showing up? Where do they continue to pop up in our area? And if you watch for this stuff and you're ready for it, you can really get an upper hand on the enemy team. Now on this Bravo objective here on Kaiser Railroad, I discovered that a lot of teams and players specifically really like coming along this outside route by the water. It's provides the most cover, so it's understandable, and I even use it myself sometimes if I can. But if you're aware of this and you patrol this area and kind of let your teammates know that there's a lot of activity going on over here, you can really shut them down. And even when they show up with 4 or 5 of them together, they won't be able to break through your defenses because you'll be there and you'll be ready. So use these strategies in your games. Communicate with your team and talk about these things. They really can make all the difference in the world. Whoa, what is this? You're playing a stacked team with only half the amount of players. No. Here was the full team. There's a screenshot from the game before. Now, of course, I'm not someone who would call attention to the specific rage quitters who backed out with about 1 ticket left from the game that I just showed you. Would I do something like that? Of course not. But we actually were playing a full team with very good players, and they just had a select few of them who were the type of players who like to quit at the very end rather than sack up and take a loss like a man. So, anyway, thanks for watching. Props to all the guys on the other team that actually stuck it out to the very end, and I will see you guys again soon in another video. Peace!